Bitcoin Weekly, and also are the bears joining the party this week? Hello Adrian, and welcome once again to my channel. It's 7:30 p.m. at least where I'm at, UTC +8, and welcome everybody who is joining me from around the world. As you can see, we have changed a little bit the setup, because our good friend Darren sent me a message yesterday, and he said he could not see some of the numbers very properly. So what I've done is I've checked some and modified the layout a little bit and checked the stream a little bit, because actually, to be honest, when I started out, I just put everything quickly into together, because I didn't expect actually to be doing this on a daily basis for a really long time. But we've grown this channel now, and apparently, like I said, the viewership has been increasing on a daily basis, and we've been getting more than a couple of thousands of people on a daily basis now on my videos. So I kind of owe it to everybody to look or make it a little bit more professional. Let's put it like that. Hi Darren. So this is for you. I hope it's better now. I hope I've put some stuff, numbers on the left hand side instead of the right hand side. I've zoomed it in a little bit so that it's a little bit more bigger on my screen. So okay, great. Thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. And hi Hasib, welcome. So yeah, I changed it a little bit now, so I hope things will be better for everybody. So before we continue, please do like and share this type of content, just to grow the community, and just to have some friends of you to join in the conversation as well, and to generate more awareness about cryptocurrency and trading, and so on, right? Thank you for liking the stream, William. So let's start, and let's go with how we are doing on a daily basis, right? Let's see what our COVID situation is at. So let's refresh this one, and we are at, in the US, 1,158,000 cases, over 210,000, both on Spain and Italy. But Italy is starting to catch up, right? Oh, hi Henry, welcome to the show. And the UK has, like I said, has been growing substantially, the amount of numbers. So they've been overtaken France and Germany now, and they are number 4. So let's see how it looks on the chart itself. Let's refresh this one so we can get the latest numbers. And we are over 3.5 million cases right now. That's a substantial amount of numbers that got infected. Good thing is, of course, we got over 1.1 million that have already recovered from all of this. The chart is finally looking to flatten. So that's very positive news. Let's take a look at the top 6 countries. So the USA is starting to flatten. Spain as well. At least the slope is a lot slower now. Italy is slowing down. I think the biggest problem right now is still the UK. That line still seems to be like a rocket launcher. France is also starting to slow down, and Germany as well. So that's pretty good. And I don't know how the situation is in your country or wherever you're watching from, but things are starting to look like they are trying to lift or at least slow down a lot of the lockdowns as well, right? So that's our COVID for today. Let's move on to some news, shall we? So the first couple of news articles that I'm going to go through is, first one, it will be from the US. In the US, we have protesters that are swarming the Michigan Michigan. Michigan capital amid showdown over government's emergency powers. So yeah, basically hundreds of protesters are they want the government to denounce the stay-at-home orders. So this is what is going on right now, right? People are getting more and more tired of staying at home, although it's probably still the best for them. But of course, a lot of people are in trouble right now, right? And not everybody is as blessed as for example me, who can just do most of the work at home. Although I would prefer to go out and meet a ton of people and talk to a ton of people in person. This is what we kind of have to do now. We have to adjust. This is it's for our own safety, and not only for my own safety, but also for other people as well. And actually, this is already apparently the second time in 2 weeks that protesters have defied social distancing, and they took the Capitol lawn over emergency declarations and closed down many of the state's non-essential businesses. And the crazy thing is, like, actually a contingent of gun-wielding men even filed into the legislative buildings as lawmakers considered ways to restrain the governor's power. Wow. So that's pretty scary for me. That's what I think. It looks very, very scary. Yeah. That's I mean, yeah. Look at this, like ooh. Yeah. But anyways, so we can see that Michigan has also more than 41,000 confirmed cases, and 3,700 people have died already in that state. That's definitely not little, right? Hi CJ and Duig. Thank you for following and welcome to the channel, as well as Chris. And yeah, so yeah, in Michigan we have that demonstration, and apparently Michigan is not the only one. We also have it also in California, apparently, as you can see here. Yes, let's close this one. So in LA we also have as you can see here, protesters, and apparently they came with babies strapped to their chests, flag waving, and even a speedboat parked at the curb. Wow. That's very scary. You know, why would you bring babies involved in these in these type of protest actions? That has to be very, very scary. That's not good parenting, guys. That's not good parenting. Hi Rachel, thank you for following, and welcome to the channel. Yeah, that's not what I would be doing if I were. I'm going to be a father soon, and that's not really what I would be doing, bringing my baby to this protest. But yeah, so yeah, apparently they are demonstrating, and yeah, they want everything, the lockdown, to be stopped. Right? Look at this. They brought a boat because they wanted to protest against the coronavirus beach shutdowns. Wow, amazing. What's this? So he said, lucky because alcohol sales were considered an essential. Oh yeah, that was something in the US. Alcohol sales are still considered essential, so they are still allowed to be selling alcohol. In other countries, for example, like in Thailand, it's not allowed, or in South Africa as well, not allowed. So that the alcohol industry, has to be suffering a lot as well, right? But anyways, so yeah, more and more situations like this is going to happen in the near future if the lockdown stays on, right? So things. I really hope that the numbers start to flatten, and things will go back better very, very soon. Let's move on to South America and what happened in South America. South America, we have Brazil, who is in big trouble because Brazil is also very, very dependent on the oil market, and as you know, the oil market crashed and went, even on the futures, went to negative. That was very new. If you want to hear more about what happened there, or interested in more what happened about oil, you can see, just go to my videos section and you can see the free oil video. And I'll be talking about the history of and kind of like a timeline of what happened over there, and how we got into the situation where we got basically negative futures on oil. But basically, for oil to be break even in Brazil, a barrel of oil has to be around $25. But as you know, the price of oil crashed, and I think right now it's still below $20. So to save these oil companies in Brazil, of course, the government has to once again create a stimulus package to save the company, right? So it's yeah, once again, governments are buying up assets like crazy and trying to make sure that that the companies are surviving before everything is going down. So here you can see here, break even point is $25 per barrel, and even look, even if oil was $35, it would reduce projected revenues for 2020 by more than 1/3. So even if it would go to $35, still not enough. Also, Brazil's exports, of course, have been fallen sharply due to the pandemic, so it has less money coming in from trade revenues. So yeah, looks very very bad. And here, as you can see here, the 1 year return on the stock holding, the top 10 holdings, is just pretty crazy, right? All negative, negative, negative. Woo! Crazy times, crazy times. On Tuesday, President Trump told Florida Governor Ron DeSantis that he should ban flights from Brazil. Wow. So yeah, if that happens, then no, even less economic activities from Brazil as well. Apparently, Brazil has over 68,000 cases and 4,600 people have died. According to one testing model of the Brazil infection rate, Brazil should mostly be done with the pandemic by June 1st, with the curve totally flattened in August. Wow. So June, next month. That's still some time to go, right? Oh, crazy, crazy times. Anyways, so from South America, let's move on to Europe. So Europe, the EU, is still working on a coronavirus package stimulus as the economy shrinks at a record rate, as you can see here. So in the first quarter, the GDP, the whole GDP of the European Union went down by a record of 3.5% in the first quarter. Just in the first quarter, that's pretty crazy, right? That's definitely not good. So what are they trying to do? Of course, trillions and trillions of euros of stimulus packages, very similar to what the US or the FED is doing. The FED has, I just checked to be sure if they went negative rates just yet, but they haven't gone negative rates so far. So all eyes on that. If things get worse, I do think that most likely they will cut the rates to negative rates at the next meeting. So that would be something very crazy if it would happen. They did increase the stimulus package to 8 trillion. Yes, you've heard that right, $8 trillion from the US. And here the recovery fund right now is at 1.5 trillion euros, which is approximately 1.65 trillion US dollars. So yeah, let's see if that is helping as well, and if they will be surviving all of this as well. Hi Cedric, thank you for liking the stream as well. So that's in in Europe. Let's move on into the next topic, and that is in Africa. And as you know, the first deflation, or the first issue that we're having because of this pandemic is the oil crisis, right? So we've talked about the oil crisis for a long time, and I've also told you that most likely the next sector is most likely the food sector, right? Because a lot of people will not only not travel anymore, not go anywhere, they will also not go to restaurants anymore and not buy any foods. Not as much as before, right? So there will be less demand for the food market. And as you can see here in 2020, so they have published a whole report. You can download it here in this PDF file. I'm just gonna say a quick a quick resume of it, and it's just basically saying that this pandemic is going to be creating a lot of food problems, right? That will be the next market that most likely is going to get a deflation. Like I said, sugar, corn, all the farming products are just, there's just too much supply, and almost very little or almost no demand, or not enough demand. And then the farmers, obviously their produce, they cannot keep it for a very long time, right? So they have to dump it, or try to get rid of it somehow. And that's going to be a big problem as well, because if things go back to normal, then there will be a shortage, because then the farmers will be not producing enough for when things are back to normal. So that's when things will become very, very problematic. Let's move on to the next article, and that's the WHO. So the WHO says that the agency is not invited to take part in China's coronavirus investigation. So they're trying to investigate because a lot of countries, for example, the US, Australia, Germany, England, they all actually are blaming China and the Wuhan laboratory to be the culprit of the coronavirus. So they are doing an investigation right now on what happened over there. But apparently the World Health Organization is not welcome and not invited. Hi Rick, thank you for following, and welcome to the channel. And as you can see here, we know that some national investigation is happening at this stage, but we have not been invited to join. The origins of the virus are very important. The animal-human interface is extremely important and needs to be studied. The priority is we need to know as much as possible to prevent the reoccurrence. So they are waiting to get an update from the Chinese government, but has not so far been asked to collaborate. So let's see what they find out there from in China, or at least try to make some sense out of it. What happened? I hope it's not going to be like some major cover-up or stuff like that. Okay, let's move on into this article. As you can see here, the US personal income and spending shrink sharply in March and likely to decline further in April. And you can see here their personal income shrank 2% sequentially in March, and in weaker than market expectations of minus 1.5%. So spending dropped significantly more than income, falling 7.5% in March and lower than expectations of a fall of 5%. So people are actually saving a lot more than what people were predicting, and also they have been spending a lot less than what people are expecting. And that's one of the reasons why we are getting into this problematic area, right? There's not enough demand, but there's still too much supply on goods, and that's the reason why we get deflation. So as you can see here, and this is what the stimulus package is all about, right? They are actually literally giving you money and printing money and trying to help you with your credits, your loaning and this and that, to make sure that you use that money to spend. The problem is a lot of people are not using that money to spend at all. They're just taking the money and saving it. And that obviously, in the way that our structure is, our economy is running, is not a good thing, right? So one more quick thing that I wanted to show you guys is this chart here. And this is basically because we've seen that the crypto market, the cryptocurrency coin, the market cap grew around, I think it was a quick $21 billion or something like that. So that's a substantial amount of money, of course. But as you can see here, where is the biggest amount of money that is going to? Well, that is first of all in money market, the money market, and secondly in bonds, as you can see here. So bonds and money market is where the most of the money is actually going to. And although we like to say that gold and cryptocurrency Bitcoin is where people are hedging their money, right now they're not really hedging their money into all of that. They are basically moving it into the money market, and those are funds that are the most liquid, of course, and the most safe. Although there is literally no interest that you're gonna get from putting your money there. It's most of the times it's just used by fund managers to stock the money right there, and then when the time is ripe to be moving it into a investment, right? So that's what most of the money, as you can see, is going to. More than $90 billion over the past couple of days have been going into the money market and not into assets or anything like that. So that it's just to keep a little bit in the perspective how small our cryptocurrency market just still is. It's still a very niche market, and I hope that people are still keeping that in perspective. Before we think about like, okay, this is going to be taking over the world and become the next store of value or this next currency or something like that, right? So let's move into our favorite topic of today, of course, our good old Bitcoin. And let's follow up on yesterday analysis. So what I've been saying on the a couple of days ago, I told most likely this 9.5k is our top. Hi Alvin, thank you for following and welcome to the channel. I told you guys this 9.5k ish is the top because that is also our resistance line, long time resistance line that you can see here, and we are still in a weekly downtrend, as you can see here. That was the 9.5, and also I've done if you've followed this channel, I've done the calculation that every time whenever we broke above the daily 200 moving average, we always seem, the last two times we always seem to be going up around, what was it, 18% or something like that, above the EMA, above the simple moving average, the 200 simple moving average. So that's how I came to the number of 9,450 or 9,460 or something like that. And we actually went to a little bit higher, I think 9,480 or something like that. But pretty good. Then before the weekend on Friday, I told you guys most likely we still have some power. The halving FOMO is not just done yet. It's starting to slow down, but it's not just done yet. And most likely we'll be going somewhere to around this green box right here that I've put. Well, why this green box? Because there was a lot of previous resistance on that area as well, right? So we had a lot of resistance there, and that's what happened. Price went into my green box for a fraction of a second. Well, not really a fraction of a second. It went for maybe like an hour or something like that. And that's when I told you guys that most likely we have to check on Monday, today, this morning, when CME is going to be opening, what will happen. And I told you guys, because of the weekly close of the traditional market on Friday, things were looking pretty bad. Shooting star, remember, falling out of the rising wedge, remember. So I told you guys, well, if the stock market is going to make a retracement, then Bitcoin is most likely going to follow, and it will only follow when the markets are open. And I told you guys, most likely that is going to happen on Monday, and to be more precise, exactly on Monday morning. And what happened, I drew this little green box here, as you can see, and what happened, that was around the 8,550 level. And what happened, yes, price went down into that green box. Wow, the dang oracle strikes again. Well, it has been pretty much correct so far, but trust me, I will be wrong many times. But things have been pretty on the dot so far, right? But as always, This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Whatever you do with your money is your own responsibility. Please always know that. What I'm doing is actually just a little bit more of like my diary and my just giving out my personal opinion. And by doing this on a daily basis, it also, you know, keeps me focused, and also it forces me to be very, very, very serious with what I'm doing, or else I'll just look like a fool, right? And yeah, I don't want to look like a fool. Anyways, what I told you guys as well is that on this level here at this 8,550, I don't think it's going to be breaking immediately, and definitely not in the first time, because there is a lot of it took us, you know, there was a lot of resistance at that point. So when there's a lot of resistance, then of course when it switches over into support, it will have a lot of support as well. So I don't think that this area is going to be breaking anytime soon. I did close my short because I told you guys I'm not interested in very long-term trades or anything like that. I'm just, you know, this was the spot, closed, perfect, 9.2k, 8.550. Great, we got our money in and out in one day. It was beautiful, it was perfect. So what I do expect to happen for the next couple of days is, because this is such a strong support line, I do believe that most likely we will be going more sideways, right? So most likely it will be between this range here for a couple of days, I think. So that's the reason why I don't want to be, once again, not in a position anymore, because I don't want to be like, you know, worried like, oh, is this going to be bouncing up from here back into this box and then back down, you know. I don't want to be in that situation. So what I'm doing is just wait. But whatever happens in the traditional market usually also will happen into the Bitcoin market. Although a lot of people are hating this when I'm saying this, is that the correlation between the Bitcoin market and the stock market is still very, very high. Like I said, I just consider Bitcoin an altcoin of the stock market. That's basically it. A more emotional movement of the stock market. So whatever the stock market does, usually the Bitcoin market reacts like an altcoin, you know, in a more emotional way than the stock market. Thank you for liking the stream, Roland, and welcome to the channel, Shy Nefer. Wow, that's a interesting name. And Jan Charles Tana, thank you for following, and welcome to the channel as well. So what I'm expecting is actually a little bounce from this area, because like I said, a lot of support. So I don't think this area is going to break anytime soon. I still think that it's going to take a couple of days at least before we get back down, right? So, but eventually, I do believe that we will be breaking down, one more leg down. The reason why is because I'm seeing that there is still quite a lot of weakness on the stock market as well, right? So let's take a quick look at the stock market here. So as we've been talking on a daily basis, as you can see here, what happened is we broke down and we touched the EMA 21, or the yellow line. Currently we are still up above it, but what I'm thinking is most likely we'll make a little bounce here and then move down a little bit lower like that. So if I'm expecting sort of that movement, but similar to like Bitcoin, I do expect it to be like more sideways for a couple days. Because once again, the EMA 21 is a very strong support line, right? And we can clearly see here a lot of trading up and down, right? So if you would be putting a horizontal or a support line here, right in the middle, you can see that there's a lot of support. Well, it was a lot of resistance and it became support, right? Now it's support. So it's just natural that it will also take some time to be either bouncing above it, up from it, or bouncing down from it. Most likely it will be more likely to be down because of the momentum, right? We'll go over the momentum in a little while, but I just wanted to tell you the more like the reasoning why I do think that Bitcoin is going to take another leg lower. Because for the S&P, I do think that it will also take a leg lower this week as well. So let's go back to our Bitcoin chart. So as you can see here, what's the, oh yeah, Hasib, what's the price range of this small green box? Which small green box are you talking about? Because I have a couple of them. So this one is a very small range actually. So I've put it between I think 8.5 to 8.570 or something like that. Usually I try to make the boxes around $100, so I would say this would have been between 8.5 to 8.6. That was my expected box range or something like that, right? So I do believe that eventually we will break back down here, and the reason why I'm putting this next box here is because of the daily EMA 200 and the EMA the simple moving average 200. As you can see, it's very confluent in this zone right here. I'll zoom in a little bit. So it's super confluent, as you can see here. So first we have the red line, that's the simple moving average here, that is currently at 7,990, and the EMA 200, the purple line, which is currently at 7,931, and we have the EMA 21, or the yellow line here, which is currently at 7,924. So as you can see, so a lot of confluent zones right there. So I do believe that price is most likely going to be, you know, like a little magnet dropping down towards that area, but maybe not in the very soon. Most likely I do expect this zone to be holding up a little bit longer and frustrate a little bit the traders. That's one of the reasons why I got out of the trade, because I don't want to be stuck and be stressed for a couple of days. I just prefer to wait it out and not pay any fees. And we'll wait a couple of days, but once it drops into this zone, I'm definitely interested in buying once again, in longing or longing my position, whatever you're doing. Because I do believe that from this point here, we'll most likely make a move at least back to this resistance line, or even higher. We can actually even go all the way back to 9.2K or something like that. Is it safe to say that 7.9 would be the super buy? Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's quite safe. The reason why it's quite safe is, let me go back to the whole reasoning why I think it's safe, right? First of all, we have a lot of support there with, like I said, all these moving averages. The EMA 200, the MA 200, and the EMA 21. So that's a lot of support right there. Secondly, we can also see that when we broke that resistance line, it took a while before we broke that resistance line. So that also means that there is a likely, you know, a lot of support there as well. And very important is the following. If you look at the weekly chart, we are still trending above the EMA 21 and all other moving average actually. So yeah, I don't think that the first time that the price goes down back there, it will break, right? So like I've explained the logic before, if the price goes down there, most of the times it will not break on the first time. It doesn't mean, so when the price goes down there, it doesn't mean that that it can't break. There's always a chance. Like a lot of people are saying, like, but how can you be so sure that it doesn't break? You don't. There's chance that it will break for sure as well, right? You could be wrong, but what you try to do is to have the minimal amount of risk, right? You try to find, as a trader, spots where you think that the highest probabilities are there that you will get a bounce upwards or downwards. That's the only thing that you're doing right here with technical analysis, right? You're finding support and resistance zones, and you trade upon those zones. Doesn't mean and you have risk management to be closing your position and not losing whenever you're wrong, because of course you will be wrong many times. But the whole purpose is to be right more times than wrong more times, and at the end of the period you should be making profits. Hi Patrick, thank you for following and welcome to the channel. So like the the explanation that I'm always giving is whenever you are right 4 times and every time you've made $100 and you were wrong 3 times and you lost $100 each time, at the end of the week you are still up $100. And that's basically how risk management is working, right? You are trying to find ways to be more times correct than wrong, and with risk management you in the long run you tend to make money, right? Thanks Jerry to following and welcome to the channel, and thanks Piotr to like the stream as well. So Henry, how do you identify a very good support zone? Well, you do a combination of 2 things. Well, that's how I work, at least. I do a combination of moving averages. So always take a look at key moving averages. And what are key moving averages? Of course, the EMA 200, for example, is a key moving average. The EMA 55 in crypto is a key moving average. The EMA 21 is a key moving average. So those are the moving averages that you always have to check. Hi Daniel, thank you for following and welcome to the channel. And then secondly, you are creating trend lines, right? You are putting horizontals. That's how I work best, horizontal support and resistance line. So whenever something, when you see an order block and that order block gets broken, then that order block, the next time when the price goes down, it will become a support level. And that order block from the past, if it was, for example, right? Let me give you an example, right? That'll be the easiest. So as you can see here, this order block here in the past, and price went down. So you know that the next time price goes back up to that order block is our resistance, right? So that's basically how you define it. But let's say price was that order block was in the bottom and price went down, right? So from here to here, then that order block becomes our support, right? So that's basically how you check it. And since here we have this order block here, and we went down and then we went back up, as you can see here, price stagnated here. Because why? Because we have our resistance order block here. Okay. So let's move on. Hi Daniel, which day will be the lowest this week? Wednesday or Friday? Let me look into my crystal ball. That's impossible to say, Daniel. There's nobody who has a crystal ball to tell you like what day, what time exactly is going to be the day that Bitcoin is going to be going down or going up. You know, the only thing that you can be doing is, like I said, trying to find support and resistance zones and see if when some zone touches, you take a trade upon it. That's basically because you cannot control the market. You can never know what the market is going to be doing. You can only take probabilities. And that's something that a lot of people hate about technical analysis, because most of the times I will be saying, well, it could go up or it could go down. But then people yes, Nikolai, Friday 3 p.m. is the lowest. But yeah. But that's not the whole point of trading, right? So a lot of people misunderstand the whole purpose or point of trading. Yeah. Okay. you can try to find some of those historical, let's say time zone or time moments, but I'm pretty sure it's I don't know if it would be profitable to be trading on those kind of timings or anything like that. The only thing that I'm trading on, and of course, once again, this is my own way of trading. If you are making money with the way you are trading, please go ahead and don't stop. You know, whatever works for you, please don't stop. So the only thing that I'm doing is actually looking at trying to find resistance and support zones and trade in between them. So whenever I discover a big resistance block, like over here that I've been saying, that block, I just take my short position because I believe that most likely the price is going to be going back down from that point. And whenever I see a big support zone like here, where I am expecting that price is, if price goes down there, I will be taking a long position from that spot. That's basically the only thing that I'm doing. Is it possible that the price breaks down from there all the way down? Sure, but that's why I have my stop loss and my risk management. Is it possible that the price never reaches there and we just bounce from here back to here? Very possible as well, but that's the reason why I'm not in a trade. So I'm not, I try to just not be in the middle of something where I cannot define my risk, right? So that's my way or my method of trading. Okay, Daniel. Yeah, well, my answer stays the same. I have no idea when we'll have the drop, or when we'll have a positive move. The only thing that I feel right now is we will most likely this week go into a more bearish trend or a pullback, because we have been going up for a substantial amount of time. So that's one reason. And the second thing is we can see that the momentum is starting to slow down, right? Hi Hemant, thank you for following and welcome to the channel. Hasib, yeah, I will do some more short-term analysis, but I don't, to be honest, I never do much analysis on very short time frames, because the precision or the amount of weird data that you can get on low time frames. So the lowest time frame that I actually, for myself, I go to is 4 hour, and for me that is already the lowest time frame that I go to. So if you're one of those crazy traders that love to trade on like 1 hour, 15 minutes, or even 5-minute charts, some people do even 5-minute chart, that never worked out for me, right? So once again, that's just a personal matter or personal way to be trading. The lowest time frame that I go to is actually 4-hour chart. But once again, that's my own method of trading. If like I said, if you are making money trading 5-minute charts or 1-hour charts, good for you, and please continue doing so, right? But for me, I only trade the higher time frames. So I go down from a monthly to maximum the 4-hour chart, and most of the times if I go to the 4-hour chart, it's more to see what the volume is on particular candles. I still prefer to be trading on the highest time frames as well. What exchange do I recommend for shorting? I don't give any advice or recommendations on exchanges or platforms or anything like that. Sorry. So the only thing that I can tell you to do is please check out reviews and check out sites that have a lot of liquidity, right? Where they have a lot of members or a lot of people on that exchange, and you will be fine. I've been trading, I think 6 years, 6 or 7 years or something like that, Nikolai. So something like that. Yeah. Okay, so let's go down to the 4-hour chart. So Hasib is happy as well. So let's go down to the 4-hour chart. So as you can see here on the 4-hour chart, the only thing that I've put was here. This was this pennant. Well, pennant. Sort of like a bullish pennant, and that's when I told you guys, most likely, because everything is still holding this support line, most likely we will have a little push, but the momentum was waning. So I said most likely we will not be reaching a higher high anymore, and we will be breaking down after the weekend, because I saw that the prices on the stock market was going down. So let's remove this one. And as you can see, we broke down here, and you can see here, this is actually my green box around here, right? This is my green box on the daily chart, right? That this little green box here. So that's where we are at right now. And as you can see here, we have another support line here, which was our rising wedge, right? Well, some call it a rising wedge, some call it a channel, whatever you call it. The rising wedge is right here, and that's basically the support zone as well. And as you can see here, a lot of support right now from all our moving average as well. We did break down on the 21 yellow line and started creating a bearish cross right here. So I do think that, like I said, it will take some time before we break this support line. So what usually happens when we have a cross, this is a bearish cross, even though it's a bearish cross, what happens is we go back up here, and then we break back down, and then maybe another support, and then eventually we break down. Something like this is what I expect is going to be happening in the next couple of days. So I'm not really interested in any position because of that, right? But if price happens to go down to my perfect area, which is around the 7,800 to 7,900 area, which is this green line here, around this area, then I'll be interested in longing, right? Because this is actually still a very bullish pattern. So what I'm seeing is most likely we'll be forming some sort of a new triangle. It's basically what most likely is going to be happening. So we see something like this, right? And most likely from this point it will go down from here, something like that. And we can actually see and make a measured move from here to here. And if we break down here, ta-da! Magical green box. But this is TA. you kind of like do everything until it matches your your box. that's what most likely a lot of people will be saying. You're just drawing some lines and just making that it looks perfect. But then if you then look at it, wow, we have a new triangle, as you can see here, a new triangle here, this, right? And then we can make another measured move from here to here. And then what will happen from here to here? We'll most likely break out from this triangle and we go back into our previous high. Something like that. That's basically what I'm expecting. So I'm definitely not bearish on Bitcoin so far. Do I think that we will be retesting the tops? Yeah, most likely, but not this week. So not this week. And as you can see, I'm drawing like a lot of probabilities and stuff like that. Those are things that we don't know what will happen, right? The only thing that I'm seeing is, like I said, we have to wait until we get more data and we see more trend forming. But what I'm seeing right now is most likely a new triangle that is being formed. So let's make a nice line here. There. So that will be our resistance line. So there. So if we break out of this, so we're bouncing here on my green box, right? If price breaks up here out of this triangle, most likely we'll be going back to this upper green box area here, which you can see here. This is the upper green box area, right? So there's also a possibility that we break out to that upper green box there. So I wouldn't be surprised as well if price goes to that green box there. But like I said, momentum is on the downside. So the probabilities is that is still more likely that we are going to do something like this and then break down, right? So like I said, all about probabilities. And then when it breaks down to this zone here, I'll be interested in buying. Because why? Support. And also the most important line of them all, the purple line, which is here, is most likely going to do something like this. That's the EMA 200. So Henry, did you learn? moving average combination with support line. There, you have your support. Hi, Mylene. Good evening as well to you. If the price goes low, can those miners cover their cost? Yes, yes, Cedric. So we have a genius system actually with mining. So first of all, you have two things, right? First of all, you have the mining difficulty. So when price goes lower and a lot of miners are giving up, then then the mining difficulty is going to go lower as well, making it more easy for miners to mine, right? And the opposite happens if there's a lot of competition or a lot of people mining, then the mining difficulty goes up, and it makes it harder for miners to go down, price to go, to mine more Bitcoin. But yeah, for sure, people who have the old machine, old mining systems, then they of course they have to reinvest into new mining systems, right? So that's it's just a free market. It's like any, you know, when you're opening up a shop in the world, you know, you have competition, right? There's always people who will want to take your market share, and there was and you have to do better, so you gain money, right? Or you make profit. So it's a free market. But this is what in short term that I am expecting, Hasib. So I do expect us to be retesting something like this, and then something like this, something like this. But eventually, I do believe that we will be breaking down. But like I said, this can take a couple of days, I feel, because if you look at the apex of this triangle, we are looking at the 10th of May. Usually it doesn't get that far, right? Usually we get to somewhere around 70 to 75 before something actually happens. So I'm expecting, yeah, something like the 7th or the 8th of May. So 3 or 4 days that we most likely will just be ranging between two ranges, right? So something like this. I would say the top of the range would be close to 9,000. That would be the top of the range, and the bottom of the range is of course this one, right? 8.6. So most likely price is going to be between 8.6 and 9,000 for the next couple of days. That's basically what I am expecting. So for me as a trader, not very interesting, is it? What I want is volatility. I don't care if price goes up or price goes down. What I want is a volatility, right? So that's why I put so much emphasis on the historical volatility percentile indicator, because that's the moneymaker for me. Because I don't care if the price goes up or down. I just have to position myself at the right time that the price goes up, or at the right time that the price goes down. That's the reason how I can make money. So triangle is being formed on the 4-hour chart. Most likely very boring action for the next couple of days. That's what I'm expecting. Range between 9,000 and 8,600. We can go a little bit up, we can go a little bit down, but most likely nothing is going to be changing much. What do I think in the in a couple of days afterwards? Most likely we will be pulling back. Hopefully we will be pulling back to around the 7.9k to around 8k area, depending on how far or how high the EMA or the simple moving average 200 is at the moment. Reason why is, of course, we have been making a lot of analysis on the S&P, and as you can see here, the daily we actually later at 9:30 when the New York Stock Exchange opens, we will actually see a lot of more data and more news and see how price is going to be reacting. But as you can see right now, the pre-market is already running, and pre-market is right now is at 280. And that candle, that daily candle that we closed on the Friday, was definitely not very pretty, right? So I do believe that we will get a continuation of our downtrend as well. But we are still, you know, sideways mainly. And I do believe that after we've got this, well, we don't have a cross just yet, but the cross is going to be happening in the next couple of hours. I do believe that we will have, you know, something like this holding, and then most likely a drop like this. So that's exactly the same pattern that I have that I'm expecting for Bitcoin as well. Why? Because I know a lot of people don't like this, but the Bitcoin chart is very correlated right now to the stock market chart. So that's how I'm trading it. as well. Boom, boom. What did I want to tell you guys? Oh yeah, for the macro perspective, I always look at the weekly chart on the CME chart, and I hope you guys listen to what I told yesterday, and that is this. This pattern is a falling wedge for the RSI. So if this RSI breaks up out of this channel, out of this falling wedge, very, very bullish. If this breaks up, I'm telling you, most likely Bitcoin is going to go to 11,500, even higher, most likely all the way to like 14,000 in the next couple of months. So that's why I'm, very, very curious to see if we ever break out of this wedge, yes or no, on the weekly. I don't know why my lines is a little bit, yep, it's a bit better now. Maybe this one a little bit higher here. But if we get rejected from here and we break down here below the EMA and we go back here around that area, then of course we are expecting Bitcoin to be going lower towards 5K, 4.8K, something like that. But still, not that bearish, to be honest. So I do believe that long term, this is a very nice RSI pattern, and we'll probably be pretty good. It will probably be very good. But this is a wedge that goes down, right? So what could happen is the following. It's like we go back here and then we bounce up here and then we go back down one more time or something like that. And then it will be 2021 before we break out of that wedge. So that could be possible as well. But the only thing that I wanted to show you guys is if and whenever we break out of this rising wedge, then our Bitcoin price is going to be pushing up very, very strongly as well. So that would be my first target and move to be checking in case it happens, right? Hi Idama, hello, and welcome to the channel as well. What did I want to show you guys? Okay, let's move on to the expected move charts, right? Expected move chart, here we go. Expected move chart, the first standard deviation on the top side right now is 8,918. What did I tell you? Range between 9,000 and 8,600. So would that change something in the macro perspective? No. And it's currently angled a little bit to the upper side. That means that there is probability that we are going up a little bit. Is the probability that we're going up a little bit is a little bit higher than going down, obviously. And the bottom of the first standard deviation of the expected move chart is at 8,515. So would that change something in the macro perspective? Not really. Like I said, I do expect in the next couple of days we will most likely be just doing that. And then secondly, what I told you guys, why do I think that momentum is slowly going down? Well, we can see here on the stocks, the stocks are currently going down, right? It's trending down. We do have some support zone here. So how far are we going to go down? Most likely not that far before we get some bounces, but momentum is on the downside. Let's look on the RSI. RSI on the 12-hour chart, as you can see here, below the EMA, meaning once again momentum is losing. However, we are trying to once again go back up a little bit, but most likely it's going to get rejected again, and then we go down. And after that rejection, once we get to this point here and we get rejected, most likely that is when our triangle is going to be breaking. And if we get rejected there, we'll most likely be going to the 7.9K or the 8K line. And if we do break this EMA, so in case this happens, then we will be most likely be going towards 9.4 or 9.5K area once again. So that will give us the indication on what the price wants to do, right? But for now, as you can see, nothing that important that we are looking at. Secondly, on the daily, let's look at on the daily. On the daily, we can clearly see on the RSI as well, beautiful pattern, as you can see here. I've been talking about this red line for a long time. As you can see here, when we started off with our positive trend, we went up above it, retested it, went up here, then broke down, became resistance, broke the resistance, and then once again breaking down below, meaning momentum is going down, and Another thing is, of course, once we break this green line and go below the EMA line, that will also mean that our momentum is going down. So what else can I show you guys? Oh yeah, one thing that is quite interesting is, as you can see, the bears, that's the red line. The bears have been doing pretty much nothing until today. It made a little push up, as you can see. So the bears have been not doing much, but now today they did a little bit, and you can see the price already moved quite substantially, actually, right? From what was it, 9.2k to 8.5, 8.6 ish, right? So that's a nice $600 move. Let's look at the historical volatility profile. As you can see here, still expanding. So that means just the price is not going to do that much of a big of a move or anything like that. Only thing that is also very interesting, we got our red signal here on the SMI. And that means, I've told you guys, whenever it flashes for a while here, it means that the top of the momentum is being reached, and once it breaks, the momentum is broken, it will flash a red light. But like I said, we're still pretty high here, but it also basically tells me that most likely we'll be seeing some continuation before we go back up once again, right? Or it can also be going more down, of course, right? But like I said, we will analyze things on a daily basis. There's no point in, like, you know, thinking like, okay, well, it can go do this, it can do that. We'll see when it happens, and then we analyze it from there. But right now, the only thing that we can say is momentum is, you know, more towards the downside than the upper side, right? Pretty clear and pretty simple as day. Hi, just us. Thank you for following, and welcome to the channel as well as Nick and Christian. So yeah, quite a lot of new people apparently. So yeah, boom, boom. What do I still have to tell? Boom, boom. What am I looking for? So what am I looking for is okay, two things for tomorrow. What I'm going to be looking for. One would be the daily close on the S&P. So do we close above or below this yellow line here, right? The EMA 21. If we close, by tomorrow we close below the yellow 21, most likely further downtrend is confirmed. So I would just be keeping my analysis. If we somehow break and close above this green line here on the EMA 55, then most likely there's a possibility that Bitcoin is going to follow as well, and we will most likely get another leg upwards, right? So there's more probability that we are gonna go upwards as well. So later at 9:30, for me 9:30, in 1 hour, when this New York Stock Exchange is is coming, then we'll see what's happened. Everybody's looking for an oracle. Yes. Yeah, I was just playing around with the name the channel. You know, it's just of course, like I said, a lot of people will suddenly think that I'm some sort of oracle or something like that. I'm definitely not an oracle. I'm not. You know, I'm pretty sure that there are also millions and millions of other people who have you know, a different trading system that are very profitable as well. But this is how I am trading. I'm just documenting, and to be honest, I only started this channel a couple of weeks ago, and it was purely because of the lockdown, and I was doing it purely for myself as well. But then suddenly, yeah, a lot of people in the community seems to be liking what I'm doing on a daily basis, and then it also forced me to be more consistent and forcing me to be more serious about this as well. As you know, as you can see, on a daily basis, it's actually quite a lot of preparation and a lot of effort and time that I have to put in, and then, you know, it takes away from my actual work as well. But I still like to do this, and I will try to keep on doing this as long as the community is, of course, you know, enjoying this type of content. Right, but please, what I love the most is interactivity. That's what I love the most about doing this, and it's just talking to you guys on a daily basis, and seeing what ticks and what interests you, or where I can help, right? Like for Henry, he has a lot of problems with zones, or creating resistance and support zones. So that's why I'm trying to explain it to him, where or how I define resistance and support zones, right? And for Darren, for example, he has been here every night. I've seen him every night, and he said that I can't see the numbers very clearly. So today I actually, took time out of my day to redesign this interface, and to see to make things more clear. But please, I do want to be very, very clear. I will make a lot of mistakes, and I do make a lot of mistakes. Okay, so don't think that I'm like some crazy person that is always correct or something like that. It has been pretty correct, but it won't last, right? We will try to keep the streak going. You know how competitive that we are. I've been watching the documentary of The Last Dance, for the Michael Jordan documentary, and I'm very similar like him. I'm very competitive. I want to be correct all the time, right? I'm that kind of person, but that's just impossible in trading, right? You will always be wrong every so time. So yeah, but we do our best, of course. We try to improve, and that's the reason why I keep improving on my trading skills as well. I've been building it up. I've put new things in. I've taken old things out. I've went back to old things. And I keep trying to learn new things. And it's always more fun if you have some community to share things with, and see if things work, yes or no, right? Hi Ota, thank you for following, and welcome to the channel as well. So yeah, please, if you have any questions, or you have any comments or remarks or something like that, except if it's negative. If you're a hater, then I don't wanna I don't wanna know. But what you can do is always like, share this content, and support. That's all I'm asking. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not charging anybody anything. There's no sponsors. There's no nothing. This is just purely for myself, because I'm blessed enough to be able to do this for myself. Because yeah, real traders make money not because of sponsors, or because of this and that. Real traders make money because of their ability to be able to trade, right? So keep that in mind. So yeah, I think that is over 1 hour, and then my voice becomes very raspy and dry. So, but anyways, I hope to see you guys once again tomorrow, 7:30 UTC +8. And yeah, it was a pleasure once again to be spending some time with all of you guys. And yeah, hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, please stay home, stay safe, and of course, stay COVID free.